How are we all doing? I hope you're keeping well. So the other night I did the Astrolaw Riga, which is a sort of a hiding to nothing. However, it tidied up well enough. As you can hear, we're listening to 5 Live here on it at the minute. It does need a bit of work. It's not quite right, but it's good enough. I'm not going to get too involved in it. It's not really worthwhile. It's in too bad condition. However, it is working quite nicely now. So the old caps have reformed in it. As I said in that video, a lot of these transistor radios, they'll sound crap for the first half hour. You know, if they haven't been used in say 20, 30, 40 years. But they sort of come to life, you know. So that's that. The RF tracking and all isn't great on it. I think it might have been twiddled. But I cleaned the studs with the old metal polish and did the pots and that, and it's working away alright. So it's sometimes I like to live in look at the old radios. It's kind of like those American fellas where they do these cars, you know, and they put all big engines and stuff in these cars, but to keep the crap look on the outside. What do they call them? Sleepers. Okay, enough nonsense. Tonight we're going to have a look at some Soviet stuff again. And this, a very nice lady called Emily put up some stuff on a local selling site here called Dundee for free. I'm always looking for, you know, multimeters or radios or whatever. And clicked into the ad, and when I clicked in, I read to the very bottom, and these items were for free. They were being disposed of out of a college, so they were mine for the cost of postage, which was good. And so first thing I'm going to show you is something that's very interesting. I think it's what we call this. Well, it's a valve demonstration kit for students. So you would have had all sorts of bits and pieces in the college. It's made by a crowd called Unilab in Blackburn, England. And we can see on the front, it's a nice little box. It's about 8 inches by 6 inches. It's a valve, it's a triode. And we can see there's a switch here. VLF, AF, RF, VHF. And the 2 little plug holes here for the heaters. We can link in a resistor here, or link it out. This little link comes out. Isn't that very nice? It's such a well made thing. And then there's 3 more jack sockets on the side. So I suppose the students would have been making up circuits. There was probably all different boxes like this. We can see it has a big screw thing on the bottom, so you might, I don't know if it's screwed to a bench or another bit screwed into that or whatever. But on the back you can see it's perspex, and you can look in, and it's a 6C4 triode, which I think is a half ECC 82 or 83 or something like that. And we can see how beautifully it's wired up. See the way they have the heater wire twisted coming up here, and the switch and the few bits and pieces, the different caps and what have you. So I thought that was a very nice piece of kit, and it's in lovely condition. So it would have been an awful shame had that gone in the bin. So fair play to Emily for advertising it. And yeah, I think that's just a beautiful thing. So we might have to come up with something to do with this someday. Maybe a little radio or something, a little regen, possibly. And the other 2 items she sent me for the cost of postage, which wasn't a whole lot, and I must say she packed up everything very well, are these 2 multimeters. So we're going to have a quick squint at these. They're in absolutely exquisite condition. Do you like that? Power slide. They really are in lovely condition. In the original box with the original instruction manual. So the first one we'll look at here is this one, this 4324. And reading the instructions. And as you might remember in another video, I have another Russian multimeter here too. I think it's slightly older than this. This one is from 10th of September 1977. I think that the battery that goes in it was rechargeable. A NiCad or yeah, well, it would have been NiCad, wouldn't it, back then? Can't remember where I was reading that now. Oh yeah. The accumulator is to be charged and discharged for not less than 150. The English doesn't really make sense. It is inadmissible when operating the polarity or the accumulator to charge the accumulator with a current higher than 12 amps. So yeah, I think it was a NiCad battery that was in it. We'll have a look. Screwdriver. I'm thinking we can stick in, see, it says 3.2 to 4 volt battery approximately. What sort of a battery do you stick in there? And it has this little thing, a little spacer though for. I'm thinking a lithium, 3 volt lithium battery ought to do the job. Yeah, so you must have been able to charge up the battery that was in it. We'll just check it out on the voltage range and see if it's working. Input sockets are on the top. We'll see if it's doing it. It obviously has not seen a whole lot of use because it's in lovely condition. So it was probably kept in a cupboard in the college, nice and safe. Okay, I have my little voltage reference due for here, which gives me 2.5, 5 and 10 volts. So we'll switch them on. We're on the 10 volt range. I have this on 30. And we'll see how close or not close he is. He's a little bit low. But one thing I've just noticed is that the scale plate is not square inside the meter housing. I think it might have got a knock at some stage. You see the way there's a little gap here? It's tight up here. And I'm thinking if that scale plate had been twisted a little bit this way, I wonder would it be on. I don't know. No, it wouldn't, because it'd be pulling it away from it. Maybe the scale plate was twisted to allow for that. It's not too far off anyway, because it's more or less on a width. So I think that's good enough. Now let's go to 2.5 volts. I don't know how close this is either. What I would love to do is I need to get someone that has a bench multimeter and give me an accurate idea of what this does. But it's close enough for analog meters. And we will go down to 3 volts on this. 2.5. Oh, that's very good. Oh, well, it's not bad. That's not bad at all. You wouldn't fall out with that. Interesting. Now, of course, you have to get a bit technically minded to work this meter, the way the scale is done on it, because take, for example, the 12 volt scale. So where do you read that off? I think you have to multiply the 30 by 12. 3 12s, and then sort of figure out where you are then. It was 12 volt, and let's give it 5. So if that was 120, oh, I don't know, I'm confusing myself now. It's too late at night for this crack. Yeah, it is too late at night for this crack. Anyway, the meter seems close enough for our purposes. Not that I'll probably get too much use in anger here, although I really should start using a few of these older analog meters as well. That looks fairly good. Alright, we'll have a quick squint at the other one, and then I'm going to go in. Right, so this is the other one. 4313. And this, I think, although I've only started getting into reading about this, I think this is a mega as well as a multimeter. And it was proudly supplied by Shaw Scientific Supplies, in Tyrconnell Road in Chicago. This crowd are actually still going, but they've moved to Cork. And we can see the manual gives us all sorts, including this very snazzy bowled out circuit diagram. And everything is in absolutely exquisite condition. So I'm just gonna see if this is doing anything. Well, one thing I did notice on this, I must show you this. Look at how thin the needle is, or the pointer I should say. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? How to do it. Anyway, let's see if she does anything at all. I think it's just beautiful. It's got quite a bit of heft to it as well. It's nearly as heavy as the Avo. So, let's see. We put the... Come on, go in. Let's see. Now. Right, so we're on the 6-volt range. 2.5. We're spot on. Let's see what the 30-volt range is like. 10 volts. Again, not bad. The only thing I didn't do was I didn't zero the pointer, did I? Where's the pointer sitting? The pointer's not too far off. We give it a little twiddle. Right, let's go again. 10 volts. Yep, spot on. 9.99, and it's just a hair under the 10. So you couldn't fall out with that. See what 5 is like. Again, spot on. 2.5, bang on. Lovely meters. We'll open them up another day and have a look at them in depth. But I'm going to call it a night for now. I'll catch you again soon. Okay, thanks for watching. And it was nice to share these 3 lovely gifts. Yeah, catch you again in the next one. All the best. Bye bye for now.